Goddess Intuition. Thank you for joining me at Black Moon Goddess Intuition. I'm Rasmika Black Moon. Okay, introduction again. Thank you for joining me here at Black Moon Goddess Intuition. I'm Rasmika Black Moon. I will be doing the collective energy forecast for the last week of 2022. So the end of 2022 into 2023. So we're just going to see what comes up, okay? All right. Thank you, God, Source Spirit, for touching me this morning and let me live to see this part of the day. Let me live to see the rest of this day and many more. I should have given a message for the collective for the end of 2022 into the beginning of 2023, the week of December 22nd, 26th through December 31st. All right. All right. What is it that we need to know? I kind of feel like there is this energy of anxiousness, maybe. Like you're ready for this year to be over and you're ready to get started on new adventures in the new year, hoping that the new year will bring new energy, new opportunities, new wellness space, better health. I feel like there's a lot of people with the New Year's resolutions in mind here, but just be mindful about New Year's resolutions. A lot of people make New Year's resolutions and they don't follow through because they don't make them attainable, realistic. They don't give themselves a time frame. They never get started. They talk themselves out of it for whatever reasons. It sounds so great and so good, and it never gets off the ground. So when making New Year's resolutions, make sure that you make it something that you can put a time limit on. Like within the first 3 months of 2023, I plan to have XYZ done, or I plan to change this habit, or I plan to implement this or change that, or whatever the case may be. Okay. I also feel like it's a time of reinvention and rejuvenation. So take some time to move into a place of relaxation, a place of prayer, meditation, and contemplation. Really sit with yourself to really figure out where it is that you want to go moving forward into the next year. All right, so let's see what we got here. I know it's Tuesday, but we're gonna do the weekly. All right. All right, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, so today I feel like you are in this place of, like I said, ready for action, right? You, with the Nine of Wands here, I'm feeling like you are waiting, you're expecting, you're anticipating. You don't know if it's good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, but you're ready to step into that new role, that new way of being. I also see like coming into this week, there's going to be this energy of maybe clearing of confusion or many options being available to you to get your ideas off the ground. I do feel like by the end of the week, there's going to be some type of new energy coming forward for you as far as enthusiasm, passion, even direction in which way that you want to go moving forward. There are a lot of options coming up for you. Some are good, some are bad. This is all about using your critical thinking here, right? Pray about it before you make a decision. Don't just jump and say yes or take the first opportunity that comes along. Do your research, pray about it, meditate on it. Make sure that you have all the information you need before you make the next step. I feel like some of you are going to be moving in a more clear path towards your goals. So it's holding on to the vision of what it is that you're trying to create, right? So it's all about your mind space. Where is your mind, and how is it going to influence the direction that you're going to go in? How is it going to help you manifest the things that you have in place? How is it going to help you put things into a succinct type of way, like give you a strategy, a method to the madness, sort of, so to speak. But it's saying that no matter what comes your way, you're ready for it, right? You're leaning on this Ace of Wands, which is coming at the end of the week here, if you can see that. All right. And you're surrounded by 8 wands behind you. So this is swift action, being able to change and adapt to a situation quickly. This is ready for whatever comes your way. This is being able to flow with the rapid changes that are coming, because I do feel like this is going to be something that's going to be happening pretty quickly that might make your head spin a little bit, but at the same time you're going to have, it's like you're going to be you're going to be in the middle of the eye of the storm, if that makes sense. If you know anything about tornadoes or hurricanes, the eye is where it is pristine. There's no turmoil, there's nothing going on there. That's the clear part. So you're going to be able to see it clearly in the middle of all of the storm that's going on around you. Okay. Also feeling like there's going to be a lot of mental back and forth. So this could be weighing your options. This could be indecision. This could be procrastination. So just be mindful and be aware of your conscious thoughts, and be aware of your subconscious thoughts. So when I say be aware of your subconscious thoughts, it's meaning like when you think of something, if something comes to your awareness, dig deeper. Why did this feeling come out? Why did this memory come out? What am I supposed to be learning from this? How can I use this to further my agenda? Whether it be relationship goals, career goals, finance goals, personal development, spiritual development, anything that you're trying to implement as starting a fresh start with, right? Look at all of your options. Look at all of your possibilities. Make sure that you're making an informed decision, okay? Not an emotional decision, but an informed decision. All right, what else is next? What else do we have, Spirit? Thank you for these messages. What else do we have, Spirit? What else do we have, Spirit? For the last week of 2022, what do we have for the collective? Okay. That's way too much. Way too many. I feel like you are armed with information, experiences, and things from your past. I feel like this is what's giving you an edge, so to speak, or giving you some leverage to be able to see through all of the chaos. I kind of feel like where there was uncertainty, certainty will be coming into view. Where there was indecision, there's going to be a firm course of action. I feel like the things that you have implemented and that you have a grip on, you will continue to stabilize that, as well as cultivate something new, and also implement some new, come up with some new ideas. So something that you may have been thought about in the past or thought about in passing. Again, so this is not, it's not specific to any specific area. This is like in totality. I feel like those of you where this is business, it will resonate with you on your business level. For those of you where this is your romantic life, it will resonate with you on your romantic, on that level. If it's for spiritual development, it will resonate on that level. If it's for personal growth, it will resonate on that level. I feel like there are a lot of avenues or a lot of areas that are being tapped into and worked on simultaneously, by you, by the universe, by your guardians, and your ancestors. I feel like there is a divine hand at work here, moving things along. If you guys haven't noticed, time is speeding up, okay? Time is speeding up, so this is letting you know that we are moving into another level of consciousness. Instead of being in a 3D, we're moving to a 5D level of consciousness. So with that happening, time is an illusion, okay? Everything is polarity, cause and effect, and vibration, right? Things that happen in the past will reverberate into your future if you haven't handled it. If it had a negative effect on your life, you've conditioned yourself to believe that, okay, this is a negative trigger, blah blah blah, whoopty whoop, shoot the goose, right? It's all about having a clearer mindset on the things that you've done, where you're at now, and where you want to be, as far as your life as a whole. For others of you, it's very specific. It's very goal oriented, right? When I say goal oriented, it means that you've implemented some things. You've started doing research on something. There's something that you want to do. There's something that you want to learn. There's something that you want to adapt. Something that you want to embody. Okay, so you're coming to this place of getting, it's like the recipe, the equation of how to affect the change that you want to affect in these certain areas of your life, because you feel like that is where the problem is. Here's the skinny, okay? Everything in our life is a ripple effect. So where one area in our life may be great and another area may not be so great, it will reverberate into other areas of our life that will be wonky up and down, right? So just be mindful of what's happening, how it's happening, the people involved that are happening, the intuitive hits that you get. I feel like some of you will be getting some of these to help you see clearer, to help you come up with a strategy, to help give you certainty. I feel like there are some things that you've been holding on to in your past that have been blocking you and stopping you from moving forward, and it's keeping you kind of pigeonholed in a certain mindset. You think you're moving forward, but you're really not. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're running on a treadmill. Okay. All right, next. What else do we have, please, Spirit? Okay. I'm seeing the caduceus here, which is a medical symbol. I'm kind of feeling like this is Kundalini energy for those of you where this is about your spiritual development. For those of you where this is physical, your personal growth, I feel like this has to do with you actually seeing how the energy in your body manifests in the physical form. So you're understanding that your headaches may be from you holding in regret or shame or things like that. You may understand that, you know, your stomach or digestive issues is because you're afraid to express yourself creatively, or you're afraid to put yourself out there and own your, be confident in yourself, right? Some of you might be have figured out that you lose your voice a lot, or you have issues with your voice, and that's because you're not speaking your truth, or you're not speaking the truth. You're not speaking up when you should, or you're not being quiet when you should, because a lot of times we need to move in silence in order to exact the change that we want. So it's like if we speak on something that we want to achieve, people can actually put bad energy on it, negative, low vibrational energy on it. It's not even, it doesn't even necessarily have to be dark magic, but it could be maybe in their subconscious, in their energy field, they could be feeling jealousy or something like that. That's not necessarily high vibration, it's low vibration, and that can muck up your manifestation, muck up your dream, muck up what you're trying to manifest, because you've shared it with the wrong person, the wrong people, that kind of thing. Okay, so this is also being not necessarily defensive, but setting up healthy boundaries with the people that you call your friends or that you feel you can confide in. I kind of feel like not everybody is going to be, not everybody that you consider a confidant has your best interest at heart and is kind of mucking up what you got going on. Okay, that's what I mean when I say look at the different options and opportunities and things that you have going on in your life, all of the moving parts. Look at all of the moving parts, the people, the places, the things, the thoughts, the emotions that come with it, each experience. Okay, I also feel like like I said, there's a time of relaxation and rejuvenation and reinvention. Taking that time to meditate, taking that time for prayer and contemplation, taking that time just to sit and think. Maybe it's even outlining or writing, getting thoughts from mind to paper, things of that nature, so you can take an objective look at it, not necessarily a subjective view where you're filtering and processing it all. You're just looking at it for analytical purposes, right? And you're trying to figure out how, in this meditative state, in this restful state, in this maybe even in your dreams, you're coming up with a solution to get through all of these cups, right? All of these emotions, all of these dreams, all of these wishes, aspirations, all of these goals, right? How can I get to point B from point A? What do I have in my arsenal right now that will help me move forward? What am I not seeing that I should be seeing, right? How can I look at this differently to exact a different outcome? Because let's just be clear here. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. So if you've been doing the same thing and the same things keep happening, then that's letting you know that you're not moving in a productive way. You're not moving in a way of progress. You're moving in a circle. You're on that treadmill, thinking that you're running, but you're not. Thinking that you're going somewhere, but you're running in place. Type of energy. I kind of feel like once you set up these boundaries, you're going to be in a more conscious mindset, I want to say, of awareness of your conditioning, of your coping mechanisms, of the things that you've tried in the past, the things that you haven't tried that you want to try, things that you want to say that you haven't said, people that you should cut off that you haven't cut off. You're looking at everything from an analytical point of view and moving and adapting accordingly to what's best for you and where you're trying to be. I kind of feel like this last week of the year here is all about analyzing this past year, where you've been, what you've accomplished, where you've succeeded, where you failed. And a failure is nothing but a lesson. So what did you learn? What did you achieve? What was put on the back burner? What do you need to change? Those type of things. It's all about analytical. What do you need to hold on to? What do you need to let go of? How do you need to proceed with said person, said job, said career path? How do you need to proceed with yourself? For a lot of you, this has a lot to do with outside people, outside forces, outside energy, the people that you've connected yourself with, you have soul ties with, that you have emotional ties with, that you are attached to. Maybe it's out of obligation. Maybe it's because this is something that was ingrained in you, that you were supposed to do, or whatever, what have you. But you are attached to some people or some energies. It doesn't have to be people. It could even be the place that you work. That are toxic and that are causing this this haze for you. But I do feel like that clarity is coming through. You are going to overcome all of these things that have kept you uncertain. Okay. What else do we have, please, Spirit? You're hanging up all the heartache. You're hanging up all the pain. You're letting go of everybody and everything that's caused you hurt, harm, and danger. I think that there's a lot of emphasis on getting back to me, right? Feeling my essence, feeling my energy, feeling my wants, needs, desires, you know? And we've been trained in society, conditioned to believe that when we think about ourselves or we put ourselves first, we're being selfish, we're not being humanitarians, we're being narcissists and sociopaths and, you know, all of these things that have negative connotations. But the truth about it is if we don't take care of ourselves, nobody else will. So we have to take that time for ourselves. We have to put ourselves first. We have to think about what is healthy for us, right? Everything is happening in divine timing. There are things that you have at your disposal. You have resources at your disposal right now in this very moment that are going to help you cultivate and nurture your new opportunities. And while you're nurturing those new opportunities based on what you already have solidified in your existence already, in your world, in your finances, and in your mind, whatever you have already that you can quantify, see, touch, smell, that you can quantify, that's going to help you nurture what it is that you have inside of you, or what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So I'm really getting the idea of somebody that's owning a business, right? They own their own business. They also work a job. They may even work 2 jobs, right? They're working 2 jobs, and they have to work these jobs because that's what's making the world go round. But maybe you're realizing that you're not using the time at these 2 jobs effectively. Maybe you work at home and you can multitask, like you could do research while you're working at home, or you on your lunch breaks, you can go and do research, or put some things into action, do something towards your business. You're learning how to use what you have to gain more. And once you do that, that's going to enable you to think outside of the box and bring more abundance, more experience, more opportunity, more wisdom, more knowledge into your existence to move you forward on your path, to get your business started, to get your product out there, whatever it may be, however it is for your life. But the work thing is what came to me when this Wheel of Fortune card came out. This is like fortune could be turning in your favor, and in divine timing. But be careful again of those snakes in the grass, those people that you speak to, those people that you confide in, things of that nature. Whether it's family or not, friends, family, or foe. Be careful of who you divulge information to. Be careful of who you confide in. Okay? I also feel like there is definitely some type of justice coming in for you. So the truth is going to be revealed on a different level for you, on a deeper level, on a level that your human mind can understand and logicate and quantify. Because a lot of times we get things that we don't even understand. Things may happen to us. Things may come into mind. We may get an idea. We may see something, hear something, or whatever, and have an interaction with someone, have a conversation with someone, and it may hit us a little different, and we don't know why. This is where you're going to be able to understand these, I call them intuitive hits, energetic hits. What is this Ace of Wands, please? What is this Ace of Wands for New Year's Eve, please? New Year's Eve is a brand new beginning. New Year's Eve is definitely that new beginning that everyone has been looking for. And unexpected, we got the Tower. So something unexpected is going to happen. Something that is going to change the foundation of your actions. Okay? What do I mean by that? when I say change the foundation of your actions, it means you're going to move in a different way, right? You're going to speak in a different way. You're going to allow certain things to happen, and you're not going to allow other things to happen. You're going to create healthy boundaries moving forward. These are codes of conduct, right? These are the codes of conduct that you have with yourself. This is how you will conduct yourself, right? And then you're going to have codes of conduct for other people. This is how other people must conduct themselves to be in your space. All right. Get a couple of we'll get a little bit of clarification here. All right. Can I get some clarification for the Nine of Wands, please? Can I get some clarification for the Nine of Wands? What are they preparing for? What are they preparing for? What is this Nine of Wands about, please, Spirit? We got Temperance. So this is all about being patient. Again, we have the Wheel of Fortune here, which is divine timing, divine intervention. So it's like you're prepared. You're waiting and being patient to see what unfolds so that you know which way you can move, right? How you can integrate what it is that you're experiencing, what it is that you're seeing, what it is that you're knowing within yourself. I feel like there's also this energy of integration, right? So it's like you're integrating, like I said, everything that you've learned from the past into this present moment, not as a crutch or like baggage. You're using it as a tool, as a weapon, as a what's the word? Yeah, like a tool instead of as a crutch, right? I feel like there are angels on your side. Your guardians are coming to show you the way. If you see that there's a path right here leading from the water to the land, there is definitely something going on that's going to help you move from a emotional state to a very logical and physical state, if that makes sense. So what do I mean by that? Some of you are very emotional. You react, right? And this is why I say you need to be careful about who you speak to about your dreams, your aspirations, things that you want to accomplish, things of that nature. Be careful who you let in your house. Be careful who you let in your circle. Be careful who you spend your time with, things of that nature, because people can easily attach whatever negative or darkness that they have on them onto you, right? So this is you coming out of an emotionally handicapped place and like becoming more intuitive, right? This is even though you don't have physical proof of said feeling or said notion or said connotation of a place, person, thing, whatever, however it may fit in your life. You're going with what that intuitive feeling is. So say, for instance, you're in a relationship. You've been in this relationship for, 15 years or so, right? You've been with this person for a long time. And you've known for a long time that something is just off. Something hasn't been right between you two for a minute, right? Instead of sticking it out like you have been, not asking questions, not following your first mind, you might just decide to be like, yeah, I'm over this. I don't want to do this anymore. Something isn't right. You're not speaking about it. I don't even know what it is to ask about it. And you're not being forthcoming, but something isn't right. And this may be you may be able to tell because things haven't been going right for you for a while. You could be having medical issues. You could be having issues with your car. You could be having like a bunch of weird, wacky stuff has been happening for the past, couple of years, even a few months or whatever. But this has been going on for a while, this janky up and down behavior. You're going to set these boundaries, emotional boundaries, physical boundaries, some of you. Others of you are waiting on a medical diagnosis. I feel like you will be okay. There may be some tests that need to be done, but I feel like in the end, you're going to come out of it okay. That's for some of you. But a lot of you is just more so about being prepared for the changes that are coming and being patient and being patient in this changing of the guard, if you will, the changing of states, the changing of the mind, the changing of the spirit. It's all about your internal ecosystem. Okay, it's showing me here that you guys are growing in astronomical ways. You're learning to trust yourself. For those of you that are not in this space yet, I feel that it's coming. Something is going to happen that is going to put you in this state of being able to understand what's going on, to see clearly, to have certainty, to make clear decisions, to see past everyone, see past the mask that people are putting up, and being able to trust yourself. Okay, we have 2 4s on the board, so this is definitely about your stability. This is definitely about the foundations that you're setting. Okay, we got the Queen of Wands with the 2 of Cups. So this for me is letting me know that there could be a meddling party in here. Somebody that's very charismatic, somebody that has a lot of energy, someone that's very confident. This could be you. Like, you need to have this feeling about yourself to set these boundaries, to move on, to step into this is the state you're coming into. You're moving into a more confident being, right? You might be coming into contact with someone that is like-minded. Others of you, you're separating from people that are not like-minded. Okay? You're moving towards the future. You're looking towards stability. You're looking towards peace. You're looking towards harmony. You're looking towards success. You want to leave all of this chaos and things behind. But I am kind of getting this energy like this Queen of Wands is a meddling energy. Okay? Let me get more on this. Can I get more on the Queen of Wands, please? Can I get more on this Queen of Wands and this 2 of Cups? Ace of Wands again. Okay, so this is a new opportunity. This is overcoming. Okay, so this could be coming together with someone that you've been trying to come together with, and there's been stumbling blocks in your way, roadblocks or whatever. I feel that you're going to be getting over that. You're going to be overcoming that. So this could be somebody that you're interested in or somebody that's interested in you. For others of you, this is overcoming a difficult situation and having to deal with a third party. If this has nothing to do with another person and this is you, you're going to be seeing yourself as confident and you're going to be passionate about your transformation into this passionate person. You're going to be coming together with your masculine and your feminine side, and you're going to be able to use those to move yourself into a different mind state, right? 7 of Cups, please. What do you have for the 7 of Cups? We have the Knight of Cups. So this is a message coming through. So this is a knight bringing you a offering or a message, right? So there's a message coming through the fog, through the smoke, through the haze, through all of this. Like I said, there, look out for your options, look out for your resources, look out for things that are going to help you shift what you're doing, where you're moving to, how to achieve these goals moving out of this year and into next year. What can you leave when a bell tolls for the end of 2022? What are you emphatically leaving behind? What are you emphatically moving towards? 4 of Swords, please. 4 of Swords for the last week of 2022. We got the Page of Swords with the 4 of Swords. So this is somebody that is gathering information, someone that's being analytical. This, again, like I said, you are analyzing things from your dreams, reinvention, presenting yourself differently. Some of you could be having someone that is watching you via social media. Some of you could be thinking of different outlets to put yourself out there, to leave behind all of the hurt and pain, disappointment, and things of that nature. I feel like you are being analytical. You're questioning yourself. You're questioning your motives. You're questioning other people's motives, right? You're trying to get to the bottom of it. You're trying to gather information about yourself, about your situation, about your life as a whole. That is that objective view I was talking about, reviewing your year. What has worked for you? What hasn't worked for you? What can you do differently? How can you put yourself out there? Some of you may be getting some communication from via email, text message, some type of electronic messaging. It doesn't have to be. It could be manual, but it's some type of communication you're going to get that's going to come as an epiphany almost. Okay? So for me right now, what I'm getting is this end of the year, this last week is very fortuitous. Okay? The Four of Swords came out again. I am going to put it back. But it did come out again. Like, this is a time of rest and relaxation and rejuvenation, finding harmony, finding peace, finding your way. Four of Pentacles, please. Four of Pentacles, please. Four of Pentacles. We got the Ten of Swords. So something is coming to an end. There's an end of that misery energy. So it's the end of feeling lack of, and having lack of finances, lack of resources, feeling like you are missing things, or things are insufficient in your physical life, in your physical world. I feel like things are coming in divine timing to remove those, to remove that thought process, to remove that feeling, to show you a better way, to give you a different perspective on things in the past, right? I also feel like it's letting me know that there's an end to the procrastination, the backstabbing, the betrayals, all of the things that have been keeping you stuck and things that you've been holding on to. Those things are coming to an end. Like, it's a done data. Because after the Ten of Swords is the Ace of Swords, which is clarity, truth, direction, strong intuitive hits, being able to use your emotions intelligently, things of that nature, being able to use your resources intelligently. Yeah. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune. Can I get some clarification for the Wheel of Fortune, please? Clarification for the Wheel of Fortune, please, Spirit. And there could be this person that is sneaking and looking around for you. It's like they're just being nosy. Somebody's being nosy. That's why I said be careful who you speak with. Be careful. Just move in silence. 2023, move in silence. Everything you do it in silence. Don't let anybody know what you're doing until it's done. Okay? I just got that. Okay. We also got the Nine of Swords for the Wheel of Fortune. So this is giving anxiety, sleepless nights, things of that nature. But I'm also feeling like this is happening overnight. So you might be having bad dreams. You may not be sleeping well. You may be plagued by past decisions and things of that nature. I feel like really this is like the past coming back to haunt you. But it's happening for a reason. It's happening to get you out of the state, to face it once and for all, so that you can go into the new year with a clean slate. Okay. For the Ace of Wands, we have the Hermit card, which is Virgo for some of you, but this is that analytical portion that I was talking about, looking at your life from an analytical place, looking at your situation from an analytical place, not necessarily immersing yourself in it, right? Not being empathetic to the situation, being apathetic to the situation, not feeling the hurt, the pain, or whatever is causing you. Not even happiness or joy, just looking at it for educational and analytical purposes. It's like collecting data, right? You're collecting data from your subconscious and bringing it into your conscious awareness. So this is being fully conscious of your self-awareness, right? This is going and analyzing what it is that your purpose is, finding out what it is that you want to do with your life. And again, when I say that, I mean whatever your situation may be. If you're at that point in your life where you're seeking total transformation, that means you want transformation in every area of your life. You are looking for a total spiritual transformation at the deepest and highest level. So that means there are levels to this shit, right? You have to start out where you're at. You have to understand where you come from, and you have to understand how it got you to where you are now. You have to understand where you are now. How has your past affected you to this point? How could it affect you in the future? What are your views on money? What are your views on relationships? What are your views on work? What are your views on spirituality? What are your views on life in general? And I feel like taking a deeper look at you as a person, what makes you happy, how you really see these things, will help you make the changes that you're seeking. Go after that promotion, start your own business, leave a relationship, start a relationship. You know, it will help you have a better rapport and connection with people in your life, because once you start to see things from a deeper, higher point of view, you will understand that everything in our physical world is a mirror of our internal world. That means every person that we come in contact with, every experience that we experience, everything that we filter into our minds is a reflection of our subconscious. So if you're having a lot of turmoil and chaos in your life, then you need to think about what is going on within you that is tumultuous, right? What is it within you that is keeping you going around and round and round in circles? For a lot of you, like I said, you're worried about your health or the health of a loved one. Some of you have been putting in a lot of time and effort into getting your body in shape, getting your physical self in shape, okay? What I'm talking about here is not about physical shape, although it will trickle down into that because everything is a ripple effect, right? What I'm talking about is internal and spiritual. This has to do with your mindset. This has to do with your reactions. This has to do with how you set goals. This has to do with how you live your life. How do you see everything in your life, every aspect of yourself? This is doing a deep analytical analysis of yourself. It's just taking a deep analysis of yourself. This is a self-check. You know how they say checks and balances? This is you doing the checks and balances on yourself. I feel like once 2022 ends and we move into 2023, it's going to be almost like a dramatic change is going to happen. Something is just going to change. Something is just going to click. Something is just going to fall into place. Other things are going to fall out of place, and you're going to understand why. Okay? I think it's New Year's Eve is going to be a very transformational time. Some of you it's going to catch you by surprise. Some of you it's going to put you in a relaxed state. Others of you it's going to confuse the hell out of you. But when the dust settles, you will have clarity. Okay? What is this tower about, please? What is this tower about? What is this tower about? And we got the Empress and the Magician. Unexpected growth, maturity, transformation, and abundance, wielded by the resources that you have at hand, literally. You will definitely be coming into this Empress energy. Now, when I say Empress energy, this is somebody that is a creator, right? We have the Ace, the Queen of Wands, and then we have the Empress. The Queen of Wands is that pre-Empress energy. So remember when I said, for those of you This is you. You are integrating the masculine and feminine parts of your psyche, of your emotional state. You are moving forward more confident. You're taking in that masculine energy, which is that go-getter, that action, and you're taking in the confidence of being confident in yourself as a person, confident in your decisions, confidence in your thoughts, confidence in your intuition. Okay, confidence. And you're using everything that you have already learned in this present up until this point. So everything that you accumulated in your subconscious, you're going to analyze it. Like it's like putting yourself in a hypnotic state and rummaging through your mind and being like, okay, delete this file, delete that file, recycle bin, permanently erase the recycle bin, and then you come into a new operating system, right? You come into the new year with something new, something that you like I said, some of you, it's gonna relax you. It's gonna put you in a state of, oh, okay, now I can relax. I understand. It's gonna give you a sense of relaxation of the mind. If not, you're not gonna be in that anxiety place anymore. It's gonna take some of the pressure off. It's gonna take off some of the anxiety. It's gonna relieve you of the pressure. Okay. For others of you, like I said, it's going to be a big surprise. You're going to be like, oh, wow, I get it now, or I don't get it. Some of you is going to confuse the shit out of you, and you're like, okay, I got all this. Okay, I feel different. I know I should be doing something different, but what does that mean for me? What does that mean for me right now? How do I get to all of these revelations that I've come to by rummaging into my subconscious mind, right? The end of this year is going to be very, very, I want to say emotional, as well as philosophical in a lot of ways, because you're going to have to change who you are. You're going to have to change the way you do things, because it's like, okay, it's like whatever the freak is going to happen, something big is going to happen. Let's just put it like that. We got the Wheel of Fortune and we got the Tower. Something big is going to happen. And we have the Hermit card. We have the Temperance card. We have the Ace of Wands twice. We have the Magician and the Empress. Something big is going to happen on a massive scale that is going to be life-changing. When we have all of these major arcanas and they're all transformative arcanas, the Temperance card is all about change and transformation. That's the alchemy, right? We have the Wheel of Fortune, which is all about divine timing and things happening in a secular form. It's also about the ebbs and flows of life, how things are having ups and downs, the polarities, the causes and the effects of things. We also have here the Hermit card, which is the Virgo card, that analytical portion. That's you doing research on yourself, analyzing your motives, analyzing your thoughts, analyzing your life up into this point. We have the Magician, and that's all about using your resources, having everything that you already need already accessible to you, which we do. Everything that we need to be who we want to be, to have the things that we want to have, to manifest what we want to manifest is already inside of us. It's just about us tapping into it and believing that we can exact that change and putting the action behind it, putting the positive action behind our goals, right? Behind our manifestations, behind what it is that we're trying to do. But we have to get out of our own way to do that. Okay? And once the Empress, because the Empress is pregnant, right? That means she's holding something, she's nurturing something. Baby's in the oven, is cooking, right? That means you're nurturing an idea, you're nurturing a project, you're nurturing a relationship, you're nurturing a way of being, you're nurturing whatever it is that you're trying to do in your life, or whatever the situation may be in your life. You're nurturing it. But once you do this analytical stroll through memory lane, if you will, you're going to see that some of the things that you've been holding on to, that you've been nurturing, have been poisoning your system. It's been poisoning your ecosystem. It's been poisoning the womb, right? And you're going to have to come out of that. And that's going to probably be a part that may be confusing or surprising for some of you, you know? Like, oh, I didn't know that I felt this way. I didn't even know that this was a thought. Or I didn't even understand what that meant for me before. And I just couldn't understand why so-and-so, why a certain situation would make me mad, or, you know, however it may manifest for you. So just be, honest with yourself. Be honest. For a lot of you, I would suggest making a vision board or something of that nature. That's a more productive way to do the resolutions thing, because it gives you something that you can look at every day of the year to remind you, like, this is what I'm working towards. This is what I want to achieve this year. How can I achieve these things? It gives you a focal point. If you get lost in life and lost in the world and you forget about what it is that you were trying to achieve, or what it is that you want, or the situation that you want to get out of, instead of putting a Band-Aid on it until the Band-Aid falls off again, right? You want to do surgery on yourself. You want to do mental surgery. You want to be able to get the tumors out, get the sickness out, get the dis-ease out, right? So that you can move forward in a healthy, mature, productive way. I also kind of feel like there is like I said, there's people that don't have your best interests at heart. And I don't know why I keep coming back to this, but they do. Okay? They don't have your best interests at heart. And it's causing you to be indecisive. So when I say indecisive, it means like there's something that you want to do for yourself. For instance, say you want to go on a trip or something, right? You want to go on a trip. And you tell somebody that you want to go on this trip. Oh, I want to make plans to go to this trip. I really want to do this, have a vacation. So you want to go to the mountains, right? You want to go to the mountains. You want to make these plans. You're thinking about doing this or whatever. And you talk to somebody, one of your friends, one of these people, family, whatever. You confide in, and you take their advice to heart. They'd be like, oh, that's not a good idea, money this, or what about that, or they just give you a bunch of negative energy onto it, right? It's like looking at it from, okay, why would they say that? Not looking at, well, yeah, they may be right, and then you're accepting that, right? So you're letting that be in agreement with you, like, yeah, they're right. Instead of doing that, you're looking at it, be like, why would they say that? Knowing this person, right? Why would they say that? What is their reasoning behind it? What did they plan to accomplish by that? Okay? It's also, like I said, about speaking up, speaking your piece, saying what's on your mind. So those of you that have not said what it is that you need to say to whoever you need to say it to, it's time to have that uncomfortable conversation. I don't feel like you will be going into the new year with this on your mind, with this in your energy field. I feel like a lot of things are going to be abrupt as of the 31st. Like, when that bell tolls and it turns 2023, a lot of things are just going to, it's almost like instantaneous, like, yo, no, I'm not doing that no more. Oh, yeah, I am going to implement this and stick to it. So there's a lot of permanent changes that are going to be taking place as we cross the liminal of the new year. When we cross that threshold from 2022 to 2023, I feel like a lot of the population is going to have like this instant like shift. It's like, okay, this is acceptable, this is not acceptable. This is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm not going to do anymore. It's like really being able to see where you come from, not just from 2022, but I want to say from like the pandemic, from like 2019 to 2020. So the past 3 or 4 years, 2, 3, 4 years, anywhere from the past 2 to 4 years, I'm going to say that. You know, from the past 2 to 4 years, there's something that you've been holding on to. There's something that's been plaguing you. There's something that's been stagnant in your energy that's been keeping you stuck. I feel like this year is the end of that energy. If you are aware of your subconscious thoughts, your programming, you know, your coping mechanisms or lack thereof, your boundaries or the lack thereof. Um, I feel like it's not going to be an easy thing to do, but I feel like it's gonna be slowly unraveling for you as the week goes by. So by the time Saturday gets here, New Year's Eve gets here, you're going to be in a place where you can relax and actually enjoy the coming of the new year. For those of you where you're not going to be relaxed, because I feel like there's a little bit of, the Tower card could mean something destructive is happening, but it also means the destruction of the old foundation so you can rebuild on a new, stronger, reinforced foundation. So for those of you where this is where it may not be what you expect, I urge you to look at it from a different perspective. If it didn't turn out the way you expect, then analyze why. What happened? What transpired? Why did it happen? Why did it transpire? Things of that nature. Are there any underlying predetermining factors? You know, things of that nature. I feel like this week is a very analytical week. It's a week of looking for solutions and being quick to adapt or embody those new solutions. Okay. Are there any other messages for the collective? This is a collective message. I'm going to try and get up here and do one for the elements: fire, water, wind, earth. For this last week. If not, it will be for the new year. My birthday is on Monday. Yeah. So I will be running a special on that day for personal readings and coaching sessions. Okay. Coaching sessions are priced by the hour. And of course, the more sessions that you book, the more of a discount you get. Okay. Depending on the plan that you choose. Okay. I kind of feel like there is a lot that has to do with decision making. I feel like this is a week of like making decisions, definitive decisions. I don't feel like it's a time for you to be scatterbrained, even though you have been in the past, or you may even be in this moment right now. I feel like that is quickly being left in the dust, and you're going towards a more stable way of being. And I don't feel like, for some of you, you're moving with emotional baggage. For others of you, you're moving free. You're moving fluidly. You're relaxed into this new place of being, this new perspective, this new operating system, if you will, right? Is there anything else? Anything else? So this week, just be mindful of your thoughts. Be mindful of where you're going. Be mindful of the people that you talk to. Be mindful of what you say. And for 2023, move in silence. The truth will be revealed. That's that justice card. What did I say? There is some justice coming in. The truth is going to be revealed. The things that something binding is going to be happening. I feel like there's a contract, a spiritual contract that is going to be honored, that is going to bring balance and harmony into your life. And look, the Nine of Pentacles. You're going to be seeing this in your physical world. You're going to be able to get, you're going to be able to have more lucrative business dealings. More money could be coming your way. You're going to become more stable, independent. You're going to be like, you're going to be in this energy of abundance and expansion and building on what it is that you have. So I feel like I said, this binding contract is going to be coming into fruition. And it's going to bring that balance to your finances, that stability that you've been looking for, that certainty that I've been talking about. I'm trying to figure out how is this going to come about, like in what way. I guess for each one is different, since it is a collective reading. For every person, it is different. So it's going to come to you, or you're going to realize it, or come into your awareness in a way that you're going to understand, in a way that you're going to know how to use the information to the best of your ability, to the greatest of your ability. And that's another major arcana. So like I said, these are significant internal and personal changes that are happening on a spiritual level, not just in your physical. This is internal harmony. Yeah, this is going to be coming to you quickly. You're going to be getting some type of message here that's going to be coming in quickly about your stability, about which way to go. I kind of feel like this message could be coming from a higher source. When I say a higher source, that means it could be coming as an intuitive hit, a dream. God source spirit could be using a person to convey a message to you. But it's going to come quick, right? So it's like you got to catch it. But whatever it is, it's going to help you move forward. It's going to help you end the cycle that you're in to bring in a new cycle. So it's like, even though you're maybe worried about what's maybe happening or what's not happening, you're not going to have to worry too much longer. You just have to be present and aware of what's happening, so you can, I don't want to use the word react, but so that you can choose to participate or not participate energetically. What else do we have here, Spirit? With the Knight of Wands, this is somebody that has a lot of ideas. They come in quickly. They come in on full blast. You know what I mean? They come in with all the energy and all the world. And then just as quick as it comes, he leaves. So for some of you, it's being mindful that, you know, as things come in, not everything is meant to last. Some things are meant to last and some things aren't. So be careful what you're putting your time and energy into. Okay? Again, people. There's people. We got the Page of Swords twice. So there is somebody that's watching you. There's somebody that may be even gossiping about you. There's somebody that has you on their mind. They're doing research. They're looking at you. This could be prospective clients as well, for those of you that have your own business or are trying to attract clients. They are looking you up. They're checking out your content. They're looking at your website, looking at your products. They are looking at your social media pages and see what type of person you are. Things of that nature. So people are doing research on you. For those of you where this is a business, for those of you where this is a relationship, I kind of feel like it's you doing the research, right? To make sure that you're making a right decision. You're getting into it for the right reasons. You're getting into it with the person that you think you're getting into this said situation with. For others of you, generally, I just really feel like somebody is looking to try and bring drama and chaos to your stability. Someone's trying to knock you off your stability. So just be mindful. They have nothing but backstabbing and like anxious energy. So it's like they're anxious, they're petty, they got this real petty young-minded energy, like high school mentality type thing, but they're grown. That's what I'm kind of feeling. Oh, all right, guys. Well, time to go. Peace. Okay. Well, I thought it was. Thought my connection went out. All right, so I'm just gonna clear this up here. For the most part, like I said, there is a lot of energy of moving in silence for the new year, being confident for the new year, standing, being ready for anything, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, and knowing that this too shall pass. There is a silver lining at the end of the tunnel, however that goes. You know, there is hope. There are opportunities for advancement, for peace, for happiness, for goals to be achieved here. There's some things that are going to be unexpected that are going to be happening. A lot of you, this has to do with your career. Things that's going to be happening in your physical world. For others of you, this is for most of you, this is very much the changing of your internal landscape. Okay. This is going to be coming quickly. Some of you may be moving or traveling. I feel like if you are traveling, I think that you're going to have a very it's like the experience itself is going to be so, what's the word? I mean, it's hard to see. It's like you're going to go, you're going to have fun initially, but there are going to be things that are going to be happening within that it's going to be like, oh, word, like, what is this about type thing. Overall, it's going to be a good trip, but I feel like you're gonna understand the people that you're going on this trip with a lot better after this trip, and it may change the way you interact with them. Public speaker, right? So you're gonna have to speak on it. It's gonna be hard. I feel like for some of you, this is your spouse or somebody that you are involved with, maybe boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, whatever the case may be. But it hasn't been the greatest. Like I said, I keep getting that for whoever that is. And I don't usually get love messages and things of that nature, but whatever this is, somebody's in a relationship that isn't for their greatest and highest good. Take it how it resonates. Whether it's your spouse or significant other or any other relationships that you have with your parents, with your spouse, with your children, with your employer, with yourself, with your higher power. It's all about the relationships that you have and the communication that you have. I kind of feel like this week is heavy. There's a lot going on under the surface. So what's going on under the surface will eventually manifest itself in your reality, right? So just be mindful of where you're planting those seeds. Be mindful of what you're thinking, what you're doing, what you're saying, even when you're talking about other people. Don't be gossiping. Be careful what you say, because even though you're speaking it in passing, you're speaking that on that person, and you're also speaking it onto yourself, because at the end of the day, like I said, our physical reality is a mirror of our internal landscape. Even down to the people that we talk to every day, the people that we see, the people that we come in contact with, the places that we go, the things that we read, the food that we eat. Food carries information too, just like trees. So, from this week, just be mindful of what's going on in and around you. Because, like I said, there's going to be some dramatic, unexpected changes happening at the end of this year going into the new year. And be ready for whatever may come your way. Okay? All right, guys, I'm out. You guys have a wonderful, happy new year. Hope you had a great Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Happy birthday, Capricorns. You guys